Good evening. This is All India Radio. I am Naresh Mago and with me is Prashant Kumar Sinha with the evening news. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to inaugurate construction of Agra Metro project tomorrow via video conferencing. Agriculture Minister reiterates government's commitment to welfare of farmers. COVID-19 national recovery rate improves to 94.37%. In Jammu and Kashmir, all arrangements in place for fourth phase of District Development Council elections tomorrow. And in cricket, India beat Australia by 6 wickets in second T20 match in Sydney to seal the series 2-0. As the nation fights the COVID-19 pandemic, we begin with a message of precaution to stay safe and protected by following these 3 simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, and focus on hand and face hygiene. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will inaugurate the construction work of Agra Metro project at 11:30 a.m. tomorrow through video conferencing. The Agra Metro project comprises 2 corridors with a total length of 29.4 kilometers and connects major tourist attractions like Taj Mahal, Agra Fort, Sikandra with railway stations and bus stands. The project will benefit the 26 lakh population of the city of Agra and will also cater to more than 60 lakh tourists who visit Agra every year. It will provide an environment-friendly mass rapid transit system to the historical city of Agra. The estimated cost of the project will be over 8,379 crore rupees and the project will be completed in 5 years. Agra Metro is also designed in such a way that it will provide environment-friendly, comfortable, hassle-free connectivity to 4 major railway stations, bus depots, colleges, schools, offices, residential areas, commercial places, malls, and tourist spots in the city. Housing and Urban Affairs Minister Hardeep Singh Puri, Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath, and other dignitaries will also attend the event that will be held at the 15th Battalion PAC Parade Ground in Agra.
In order to enhance passenger convenience for the people of Kolkata, the Kolkata Metro has decided to run additional services and extend timings of its services from tomorrow. Metro Railway Kolkata will run 204 daily services instead of 190 services from Monday to Saturday. Minister of Railways Piyush Goyal has commended the Kolkata Metro for extending its services. According to the Railways Ministry, the first service will start from both ends from Dum and Kavi Subhash at 7 a.m. instead of 8 a.m. and from Noapada at 7:09 a.m. instead of 8:09 a.m. The last service will leave Kavi Subhash and Dum at 9:30 p.m. instead of 9 p.m. and from Noapada at 9:25 p.m. instead of 8:55 p.m. Services will be available at every 7 minutes during the morning and evening peak hours. The ministry said senior citizens, ladies and children below 15 years of age, for them e-pass will not be required throughout the day. For all other passengers, e-pass will not be required between 7 a.m. to 7:30 a.m. and 8 p.m. onwards. No token will be issued and only smart cards shall be used. The centre will hold the 6th round of talks with the farmers' unions in New Delhi on Wednesday to end the deadlock over the new farm laws. The 5th round of talks was held yesterday with Agriculture Minister Narendra Singh Tomar reassuring the farmers' unions that the system of minimum support price MSP will continue and there is no threat to it.
एमएसपी जारी रहेगी। एमएसपी पर किसी भी प्रकार का खतरा और इस पर शंका करना बेबुनियाद है, लेकिन फिर भी किसी के मन में कोई शंका है, सरकार उसका समाधान करने के लिए पूरी तरह तैयार है। एपीएमसी एक्ट राज्य का है और राज्य की मंडी को किसी भी प्रकार से प्रभावित करने का इरादा न तो हमारा है और न ही कानूनी रूप से वो प्रभावित होती है। एपीएमसी और मजबूत हो इस दिशा में सरकार के लिए जो करनी है वह करने के लिए भी सरकार तैयार है।
Mr. Tomar had said that the government has worked out possible solutions to the provisions on which farm leaders have raised objections. He expressed hope that the farmers' protest will end at the earliest.
हम लोग चाहते थे कि कुछ विषयों पर स्पष्टता से कुछ सुझाव हमें मिल जाएं, लेकिन बातचीत के दौर में ये संभव नहीं हो सका। अब 9 तारीख को पुनः ये बैठक होगी और हमने किसानों को कहा है कि सरकार आपके सभी पहलुओं पर विचार करेगी और हमारी कोशिश होगी कि समाधान का रास्ता हम खोजें, लेकिन समाधान का रास्ता खोजने में यह उपयुक्त होता कि किसान नेताओं के भी कुछ सुझाव मिल जाते तो हमको रास्ता निकालना थोड़ा आसान होता। अभी भी हम उसका इंतजार करेंगे।
The Agriculture Minister also reassured that the Narendra Modi government is fully committed to the interests of farmers and will remain so in future.
मैं यह आश्वस्त करना चाहता हूं कि प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी की सरकार किसानों के प्रति पूरी तरह प्रतिबद्ध थी, है और आने वाले कल में भी रहेगी। अगर आप 6 वर्ष मोदी जी के कार्यकाल में कृषि के क्षेत्र को देखेंगे तो मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में आमूलचूल परिवर्तन किया गया है। इसमें किसान की आमदनी में बढ़ोतरी हुई है, योजनाएं बनी है, बजट बढ़ा है, MSP बढ़ी है, सरकारी खरीद बढ़ी है और किसान महंगी फसलों की ओर आकर्षित हो सकें, किसान टेक्नोलॉजी से जुड़ सकें और किसान समृद्धि की ओर बढ़ सकें। इस मामले में मोदी जी की सरकार ने ऐतिहासिक रूप से काम किया है।
The government has said it is open to considering ways to strengthen Agricultural Produce Market Committee APMC mandis and to create a level playing field with the proposed private markets. Farmers are benefiting big time due to the new farm laws of the central government. Farmers from a small village in Hingoli district in Maharashtra are selling their agricultural produce directly to buyers without the involvement of APMCs and making huge profits. Bhagwan Bhalerao said he is happy that he is making more profits than before.
केंद्र सरकार ने कायदा किया है, किसानों को कुछ कंपनियां दिए वाले है। ये कंपनी में हमारा मार्केट कमेटी से वहाँ ज्यादा फायदा हो रहा है। मार्केट कमेटी में माल डालने से हमारा नुकसान होता था, कुछ देर लगता था माल बेचने को। वहाँ वैसा कोई नहीं है, माल हमारा जल्दी बेचता है, जल्दी पैसे मिलते हैं, वो हमारा कमीशन नहीं काटते। वहाँ ऐसे फायदे है छोटे छोटे।
Another farmer, Chakraveer Singh, thanked the Modi government for taking steps for the welfare of farmers through the new farm laws.
हमारा नाम भैया चक्रवीर सिंह चौहान है, औंध गांव में रहते हैं, खेती किसानी काम कर रहे हैं। मोदी जी की गवर्नमेंट ने किसानन के लिए साल में 6,000 रुपए दे रहे हैं, हमारी फसलन को उचित मूल्य की व्यवस्था कर रहे हैं। अब जब किसानन के क्षेत्र में जो परिवर्तन की आवश्यकता थी, एक संग तो सब परिवर्तन नहीं हो सकते, लेकिन मोदी जी पे हमें पूरा भरोसा है कि वह किसानन के हित में बढ़िया ही करेंगे। बिचौलिया जो अगर फसल बेचन जाओ तो वहाँ मंडियन में डेरा जमाए बैठे हैं और हमारे कृषि में से हम अपनी फसल बेच रहे हैं, उन्हें मुफ्त में मजा आ रहा है। तो ऐसे लोगों से मुक्ति दिलाने के लिए मोदी जी जब बिल को लेकर आए हैं, जो हमारे हितन में है।
India has crossed yet another significant milestone in its fight against COVID as the recovery rate has improved to 94.37%. The number of daily recoveries outnumbered the new daily cases for the 9th consecutive day today. The total recovered cases in the country stand at around 22 times the number of active cases, with a cumulative recovery of over 91 lakh people so far. The new daily positive cases continue to remain below the 50,000 mark for nearly about a month now. In the last 24 hours, nearly 36,000 new cases were reported, while nearly 42,000 people recovered in the same time span. The active caseload of the country has witnessed a further drop and continues to remain below 4.2%. The total active cases in the country have reduced further and stand at 4,03,248, which comprises nearly 4.18% of the total reported cases. The Health Ministry has said that 482 case fatalities were reported in the past 24 hours. Over 11 lakh COVID samples were tested in the country in the last 24 hours. With this, the cumulative testing figure has reached around 14 crore 70 lakh. The central government and ICMR have scaled up the testing infrastructure in a calibrated manner. India's testing capacity has touched 15 lakh per day, ensuring easily accessible COVID-19 tests for all. The Health Ministry has said that very high levels of testing lead to early identification, prompt isolation and effective treatment of COVID-19 cases. It said this also leads to a lower fatality rate. The News Services Division brings glimpses of the year that was in our special series, Year Ender 2020. COVID-19 pandemic has been the biggest story of the year, and India has seen a valiant fight against the disease under the dynamic leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The Prime Minister took quick and proactive decisions to halt the spread of COVID-19. The quick, timely, scientific and technology-driven decisions have shown fantastic results, and today India has a recovery rate of over 94%. Talking to AIR News, Principal Scientific Advisor to the Central Government, Professor K. Vijayaraghavan said that India, amid all its complexities, was able to handle the COVID pandemic by timely utilization of its scientific prowess and acumen.
Today, because of our scientists, we know how to diagnose the disease and test. We know how to trace because of our IT back-end Arogya Setu, and we know how to isolate people and treat them well. The result of all this is India, despite its huge population, its diversity and challenges, has done very well in fighting against the pandemic. This is a constant battle. One should never be complacent, but yet it shows how in a complex, difficult environment, good things can be achieved by bringing science to decision making.
Our correspondent takes a look at the quick decisions taken by the centre in the fight against the COVID-19 pandemic.
The first case of the deadly coronavirus was reported from Wuhan in China last December, and the number of cases swelled up in no time. By the time the World Health Organization notified the existence of COVID-19 on 7th January this year, India was already gearing up itself to fight an unprecedented battle against the virus. The government had a mission meeting on the very next day, on 8th January, to draw the roadmap for strengthening the public healthcare system in the country in order to face the challenge. The Prime Minister discussed the issue of COVID-19 in a cabinet meeting in January itself, even before the first positive case surfaced in the country. He directed that India's response must be entirely science-based. India was one of the first countries to begin screening of passengers at airports and seaports to clog the entry of the virus since January. The Prime Minister sent a strong signal of social distancing in early March, much before the lockdown, by avoiding the Holy Million event. He called for Jan Bhagidari and people's support in the fight against the pandemic, which was emphatically supported by the citizens during the one-day Janta curfew on 22nd March. The real game-changing decision for the country, which prepared India to face up the viral contagion, was the call for a 21-day-long nationwide lockdown from 24th March. It helped break the chain of transmission of COVID-19. The lockdown phase was also utilized by the government to add vast health infrastructure in the country. The lockdown was further extended till 31st May. Thereafter, gradual reopening of prime economic activities was allowed since 8th June. The Prime Minister has been chairing a COVID-related meeting almost every week since the last 9 months. His direct intervention has seen to it that India today stands as a country with one of the lowest COVID cases and fatalities per million of its population. Anand Chaturvedi, AIR News, Delhi.
Kerala continues to report surge in COVID cases. 4,777 new cases of COVID were confirmed today. 5,217 recoveries were also reported today in the state. Presently, the total number of active COVID cases in Kerala is at 60,924. Meanwhile, 28 recent deaths were also confirmed due to COVID today, taking the death toll in the state to 2,418. In Gujarat, the recovery rate of COVID-19 patients has improved to 91.35%. According to the State Health Department, 1,535 patients have recovered from COVID-19. More from our correspondent.
Gujarat has recorded 1,514 new cases of COVID-19 during the last 24 hours. With this, the total number of COVID-19 cases in the state has reached up to 2,17,333. Out of this, 1,98,527 patients recovered. More than 81,72,000 tests have been carried out in the state till date. At present, total active cases in the state are 14,742, out of which 90 patients are on ventilator. With the death of 15 patients, the total deaths due to COVID-19 has reached up to 4,064. Meanwhile, Ahmedabad Municipal Corporation has launched door-to-door health screening in the new containment zones. Yogesh Pandya, AIR News, Ahmedabad.
Chief Secretary Chetan B. Sanghi chaired the first meeting of the State Steering Committee to review the preparedness about COVID-19 vaccine in the Andaman and Nicobar Islands. The committee was apprised of the cold chain preparedness, operational planning, and human resource mobilization for the anticipated launch of the vaccine. The Directorate of Health Services has listed out various cold chain handling points and healthcare institutions for vaccine administration sessions as per SOPs. The administration has requested the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare to include workers of Andaman Adi Janjati Vikas Samiti under the Tribal Welfare Department in the first phase of the proposed vaccine inoculation. The ministry assured that the issue would be taken up with the National Expert Group for Vaccine Administration. The committee was also informed about the Electronic Vaccine Intelligence Network, EVIN, which is under the process of implementation in these islands with the help of the United Nations Development Programme, UNDP. EVIN will make online monitoring of all cold chain points possible. The Chief Secretary directed that all prescribed guidelines and timelines issued from time to time by the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare be adhered to.
In Manipur, 7 persons died due to COVID during the past 24 hours in the state, taking the total fatalities to 306. On the other hand, 216 people, including 26 personnel of the Central Armed Police Force, were confirmed as new COVID-19 positive cases. With this, the total number of positive cases has reached 26,073 in the state. Among the positive cases, 190 cases are locals and do not have a travel history. They are suspected to be infected through local transmission. 193 persons were discharged in the past 24 hours in the state, and the recovery rate has reached 87.63%, much lower than the national average. So far, Manipur has recorded total recovered and discharged cases of 22,848, while the number of active cases is 2,919. Meghalaya recorded 2 more COVID-19 related deaths today, one from East Khasi Hills district and the other from West Garo Hills district, bringing the death toll to 120. Directorate of Health Services is informed that the state also registered 73 new COVID-19 cases. 61 patients also recovered today, taking the total recovered cases in the state to 11,453. The News Services Division of All India Radio, in its bilingual live phone-in program tonight, will bring you a special discussion program on COVID-19. This can be heard tonight on FM Gold channel and additional frequencies from 9:30 p.m. onwards. Dr. Aparna Agarwal, Professor of Medicine, Lady Hardinge Medical College, will participate in the discussion. Listeners can ask questions to the experts on toll-free telephone number 1800-115767. You can also ask questions on telephone number 011-2331-4444 and post queries on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts by hashtag AskAIR. This program will also be available on our website newsonair.com and on our YouTube channel News on AIR Official. You can also follow us on the News on AIR app for the updates.
You are listening to the evening news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to inaugurate construction of Agra Metro project tomorrow via video conferencing. Agriculture Minister reiterates government's commitment to welfare of farmers. COVID-19 national recovery rate improves to 94.37%. In Jammu and Kashmir, all arrangements in place for 4th phase of District Development Council elections tomorrow. And in cricket, India beat Australia by 6 wickets in the second 2020 match in Sydney to seal the series 2-0. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
To get accurate, reliable and wide coverage of news, tune into AIR News 24/7 and FM Gold and listen to the major bulletins at 8:30 a.m., 2 p.m. and 8:30 p.m. in English and 8 a.m., 2:30 p.m. and 8 p.m. in Hindi of half an hour each.
चलो मिलकर एक शुरुआत करें, चलो एक फैसला आज करें, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे, चलो एक इरादा करते हैं, चलो कुछ वादा कर
In Jammu and Kashmir, all arrangements have been completed for the fourth phase of District Development Council DDC elections and Panchayat by-polls tomorrow. The polling will take place from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. AIR Jammu correspondent reports that 34 DDC constituencies, including 17 each from Jammu and Kashmir divisions, will go to polls in this phase. Besides by-polls to 50 vacant Sarpanch seats and 216 vacant Panch seats will also be conducted. In Kashmir division, there are 138 candidates in the fray, including 48 women candidates. In Jammu division, there are 111 candidates, including 34 women in the fray. A total of 7,17,322 electors are eligible to cast their votes. Of them, 3,50,149 are from Jammu and 3,67,173 are from Kashmir division. The State Election Commission has set up 1,910 polling stations across the Union Territory. 781 polling stations are in Jammu and 1,129 in Kashmir Division. 1,152 polling stations have been declared hypersensitive and 349 as sensitive. Election campaign for the first phase of Kerala local body polls ended this evening. Polling will be held in 5 districts on Tuesday. There are a total of 88.26 lakh voters and 24,584 candidates in these 5 districts. The state witnesses a 3-cornered contest with ruling LDF, Congress-led UDF and BJP-led NDA as the major players. Rallies, marches and public meetings were replaced by virtual rallies and social media campaigns due to COVID-19 restrictions. In Uttar Pradesh, election results of all 11 legislative council seats, 5 graduate and 6 teachers' constituency seats have been declared. Out of the 11 seats, the BJP has bagged 6 seats. More from our Lucknow correspondent.
In Uttar Pradesh, ruling Bharatiya Janata Party BJP won 3 seats, while Samajwadi Party SP won 2 seats. The result of 6 division of teachers' seats in the Legislative Council have already been declared. BJP won 3, Samajwadi Party 1, and 2 seats were won by independent candidates. The election for the 11 seats was held in December 1st. All major political parties except BSP fielded their candidates. The election was necessitated in the month of May, but due to COVID-19, the election was deferred. MS Yadav, AIR News, Lucknow.
Karnataka Assembly Speaker Vishweshwar Hegde Kagadi reviewed preparations ahead of the winter session of the state legislature beginning tomorrow. The session, to be held till the 15th of December, will follow all COVID-19 protocols. There will be question hour and 10 bills are ready to be tabled in the House. The Speaker has informed that on the last 2 days of the session, the House will have debate on One Nation, One Election issue. Prime Minister Narendra Modi had floated this idea to hold all elections at one time, enabling the government to focus on development during the rest of the year.
BJP National President JP Nadda has appealed to Uttarakhand state government ministers, MPs, MLAs and party leaders to go to the public and make them aware of each detail of every development program being run by the central and state governments. Addressing the meetings of different core groups of the party in Dehradun, Mr. Nadda also called for focus on the upcoming state assembly elections. Mr. Nadda also held a meeting with Chief Minister Trivendra Singh Rawat. Mr. Nadda, who is in Uttarakhand, will meet the leaders of various frontal organizations of the party tomorrow. Ministries of Commerce and Industry and Ayush have decided to work together to set up an export promotion council to boost Ayush exports. This decision was taken on Friday in a joint review of Ayush Trade and Industry by Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal and Ayush Minister Shripad Nayak. It was also decided that the entire Ayush sector will work together to achieve price and quality competitiveness to boost exports. The review was held through video conference. It was attended by nearly 50 industry and trade leaders from the Ayush sector. More than 2,000 stakeholders of the Ayush sector also attended the e-event through live streaming on virtual platforms. Central Pollution Control Board, CPCB, has raised concern on pollution and flooding in the river Yamuna. The CPCB has asked Delhi and other states for effective sewage treatment. It has also sought action, taken reports from all concerned agencies by the 15th of this month. In the past, CPCB has observed froth formation and increase in ammonia levels in the river Yamuna. It issued directions to Delhi Jal Board to submit a time-bound action plan to ensure compliance to the norms by sewage treatment plants. Delhi Pollution Control Committee has been directed to take action against non-complying common effluent treatment plants and industrial units. Directions have also been issued to state pollution control boards of Haryana and Uttar Pradesh.
The nation paid homage to Bharat Ratna Dr. B.R. Ambedkar on his 64th Mahaparinirvan Divas or death anniversary today. A number of functions are being held across the country to highlight the contribution of Dr. Ambedkar in nation building. The father of the Indian Constitution, Dr. Ambedkar, was a jurist, economist, politician and a social reformer who campaigned against social discrimination of the downtrodden, women and labourers. Baba Saheb was conferred the Bharat Ratna posthumously in 1990. President Ramnath Kovind, Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu and Prime Minister Narendra Modi paid rich tributes to Dr. B.R. Ambedkar on his Mahaparinirvan Divas. In Hong Kong, authorities froze bank accounts of former pro-democracy lawmaker Ted Hui Chi-fung after he fled to Britain with his family. Briefing a news agency via social media today, the pro-democracy activist said that bank accounts belonging to him, his wife and his parents at the Bank of China, Hong Kong, HSBC and Hang Seng Bank were frozen. Bangladesh signed its first preferential trade agreement PTA with Bhutan, allowing duty-free access to a range of goods between the two countries. This is the first PTA Bangladesh has signed with any country in the world. The agreement was signed today between Bangladesh Commerce Minister Tipu Munshi and Bhutan's Economic Affairs Minister Leonpo Loknath Sharma in Dhaka.
India defeated Australia by 6 wickets in the second T20 match at Sydney Cricket Ground this evening. With this win, India has sealed the 3-match series 2-0. India won the opening 2020 international on Friday in Canberra by 11 runs. The final match will be played on December the 9th. Chasing a target of 195, India finished the game with 2 balls remaining, losing 4 wickets in the process. Hardik Pandya was adjudged man of the match for his blistering 42-run knock off just 22 balls. He remained not out. Opener Shikhar Dhawan top scored for the team with 52 runs. Earlier batting first, Australia scored 194 in the stipulated 20 overs, losing 5 wickets. Skipper MS Wade top scored for the team with 58 runs off 32 balls. For India, T. Natarajan took 2 wickets, while Shardul Thakur and Yuzvendra Chahal took 1 wicket each. Now, let us take a look at the weather forecast for tomorrow. The national capital will have a shallow fog with temperature varying between 11 and 27 degrees Celsius. Mumbai will have a mainly clear sky. The temperature will vary between 18 and 35 degrees Celsius. Chennai will have a generally cloudy sky with light rain or drizzle. The temperature will hover between 24 and 29 degrees Celsius. Kolkata will witness a clear sky. The city will observe a minimum temperature of 17 and a maximum of 29 degrees Celsius. Srinagar will have a generally cloudy sky with light rain, and the temperatures will hover between 2 and 10 degrees Celsius. In Jammu, the lower level of temperature will be 12 degrees Celsius, while the upper will be 23. The city will have a partly cloudy sky. In Leh, the sky will be generally cloudy with light rain. The minimum temperature will be -3, while the maximum will be 3 degrees Celsius. Gilgit will have a generally cloudy sky with temperatures hovering between 2 degrees and 14 degrees Celsius. Muzaffarabad will have a generally cloudy sky with light rain, and the temperature will remain between 5 and 18 degrees Celsius. In Dehradun, the temperature will hover between 9 and 25 degrees Celsius, and the sky will be mainly clear. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to inaugurate construction of Agra Metro project tomorrow via video conferencing. Agriculture Minister reiterates government's commitment to welfare of farmers. COVID-19 national recovery rate improves to 94.37%. In Jammu and Kashmir, all arrangements in place for 4th phase of District Development Council elections tomorrow. And in cricket, India beat Australia by 6 wickets in second 2020 match in Sydney to seal the series 2-0. For details of these stories and more, log on to our website www.newsonair.com and News on AIR app. And with that, we end the evening news. Good night.